This is the toast of the goddess. It's sourdough with a honey and clove whipped butter, with a maca and cardamom infused whipped cream and butterfly pea flour, a blueberry and lavender compote topped with edible flowers, pea shoots, cacao nibs, summer peaches, pear, summer strawberries, and love. Hi everybody, I just made one of the most extravagant pieces of toast I think I'll ever have in my life. It's kind of like the embodiment of if Persephone and Demeter got together to have a mommy-daughter day and they made toast. Like, this is my toast is what it would look like. I like to focus on making foods that replenish your ojas, and your ojas are responsible for your hormonal fluids, cerebral spinal fluids, and your sexual fluids. So it's an Ayurvedic term that you can find in Ayurvedic medicine. And the point of these is to help you commune with like the sweetness in life. It's the stuff that your ojas are the things that make you just fluid and like mushy gushy and warm and loving. Like this is when you eat to nourish your ojas, you're eating to feel alive and fluid and loose. So that's the food I make, and you can find more about your ojas in the link below. I sell a presentation on it. I studied it. It was really important for me to understand for a long time because I was reintegrating like the sweetness back into my life, and getting to know the sweetness through food and through life changes has been immaculate for me. So I want to show you all of the things that went into this toast. It's pretty insane. To start the blueberry lavender compote, I'm going to begin with mushing up the blueberries. Once they're mushed, I'm going to put them on the pan and turn on the heat, and then mush a little bit more. Right after that, I'm going to go into de-stemming my dried lavender and then sprinkling it in. that's simmering, I'm going to use my cool French butter and create the whipped butter. The butter should be at room temperature. The first ingredient for the whipped butter is honey. The second ingredient is clove. And lastly, salt. Now it's time to get started on the whipped cream. The first ingredient is cardamom. You'll want to use the flat side of your knife to press on the pods to get them to crack open. And then after you have them cracked open, you're going to do the same thing where you use the flat side of the knife to crush the little seeds. And what this does is it opens it up so that way more of the flavor is available in the whipped cream. And here's what it looks like when it's crushed. I don't crush all of them because I do like to chew on them. So you get the flavor mixed in and then you get those little bites of them, and then when you bite into them, it's like a full release of the cardamom flavor in your mouth. It's such a delicious thing to have happen. And you're gonna mix in some maca at this point. I love having maca in many recipes, and anything I can mix it into, I do. I don't know the science of how maca mixes with these other ingredients and if it cancels it out or whatever, but I definitely will take any excuse to mix maca into stuff. At this point, I'm going to put half of it into another bowl because I want a blue butterfly pea flour dollop of whipped cream on my toast. So I'm going to separate half and half now and continue beating this first one until I'm satisfied.
Un petit bout d'avenir.
And that is going to go in the fridge while I get started on the butterfly pea flower whipped cream. This is one of my favorite parts of this, just because I'm a total visual consumer. I love getting to play with color and with my food, and using this really cool natural way to do it is just awesome. So love this. And now I'm going to put this in the fridge. It's getting close to when I'm supposed to put the bread on to toast it, so I'm just adding more blueberries and reheating the compote before I put it in its own little bowl to cool off. I'm going to put this in the freezer because it's going to be the base of all of the toppings, and the whipped cream that I have will melt if it's on a surface that's too hot. So hopefully by cooling this down in the freezer, it will be the perfect temperature so I can put the whipped cream on top of it without the whole thing just melting and falling apart, because the toast is going to be hot coming off the pan. And now I get to finally use the whipped clove and honey butter that we made earlier. Spread it on the toast and stick it on the pan. time to chop up the fruit and the herbs that I picked out. Here we have strawberries, pear, a peach, and some thyme. Right now feels like a good time to tell you that the strawberries, the thyme, and the blueberries, and the lavender all came from local farms around me. And so did the honey. And the only things on this ingredients list that don't claim to be organic is the butter that I got from France and the butterfly pea flour powder. Even the bread is organic. The place that I get it from tends to be really on top of using good ingredients for their bread, and I'm just so grateful to have them in town and that they make fresh bread every week. Like it's such a blessing. While I chop this and you watch, I'm gonna read you a poem that I found in a magazine one day. It's called A Calling Closer by Leila Farjami. Figs hang from branches, curved as old age, like globes of purple light. Their taste of sweet stars lingers for 1,000,000 light years inside the mouth, bursts over the tongue like lusty seeds of heaven. With my hair on fire, I run through the forest of smoke, inhale its wind, hear a god's voice as it dawns between cracks of clouds, baritone, faint. Apple blossoms sway from one universe to another with each breath. The sun begins to dim above my head. Mulberries cool in dusk's breeze. Now the weighty night crushes the unborn. The moon cloaks soft fields of ash and tender bones. We stand by the dark shore, my mother and I. A heron catches a silver perch whose body is stiff as a shard of clay, gobbles it whole. The horizon unwinds, gathers a stillness. Death bends everything toward its center. I love that poem with my whole heart. I have it on a vision board of mine because it encapsulates life, the beauty of age, 1,000,000 light years of taste lingering inside the mouth in one moment. It's a very surreal way to think about eating anything, bringing all of eternity into presence with the food that's right here in front of you, and describing the night where the moon cloaks soft fields of ash and tender bones, because I find that moonlight does create a completely different version of everything around you. Talking about this heron catching a fish whose body is stiff as a shard of clay and gobbling it whole, like it just does such a good job at talking about the feeling of death. And that ending line of death bends everything towards its center is major.
Regarde là-bas. Est-ce que tu nous vois? C'est difficile à dire, la vie sans toi. Est-ce que tu y crois? Je ne sais pas écrire s'il manque de toi. Un coin tranquille, peut-être une île, vie indocile. La nuit défile dans mon exil, un coin tranquille. savoir s'il va pleuvoir. C'est pas toujours facile quand il fait noir. Est-ce que tu y crois? C'est difficile à dire. Le goût de l'espoir, un coin tranquille, peut-être une île, vie indocile. La nuit défile dans mon exil, un coin tranquille. Quand t'as peur, je tremble aussi. Et puis parfois je fuis. Mais voilà, je suis là pour toi et moi. Un funambule au bout du fil. Un coin tranquille, peut-être une île, vie indocile. La nuit défile dans mon exil, un coin tranquille.
Thanks for being with me while I make this irresponsibly beautiful, crazy, decadent toast masterpiece. I hope you make it or something like it. Tag me if you do. Everything you want more.